Dear students, now I welcome you all to the session number 40. In this session, we are going to discuss about cloze test with some exercises. Now, let me share PPTs with you. Okay. I again welcome you to this session 40. In this session, we are going to discuss about cloze test with some exercise. Here is an exercise. Now, before going to find the answer for these blanks, we'll we'll understand about the context of this passage. So for that, we have to go through this passage. Let's go through this passage quickly. It was midnight when the last guest left. I sighed heavily. I looked around. Living room was dash of cigarette smell and stale perfume. As I looked around, I dashed wet patches of split beer on my best Persian carpet. My antique vases were totally smashed. They had even dashed my antique oak tables as ashtrays. These guests of Dash had done their best to destroy my expensively decorated living room. What a night this had turned Dash to be. I shook my head. The mess would dash hours to clear. Getting dash of the smell would require days. My housekeeper would have resigned dash the spot if she saw the mess. I had to do dash fast. I could not afford to lose her dash she is the best cook I dash ever had. Now, as we have gone through this passage, we know that the context here is the author has invited his guest. They have used his room and left unclean. That's why he is in a position to lose his best cook. So this is the context. Now we'll go to find out the answer through the by using the tips of grammar, usage, and vocabulary. So it was midnight when the last guest left. I sighed heavily as I looked around. The living room was dash of cigarette smell and stale perfume. So the living room was a dash of cigarette smell. Let's use some elimination method here. Used of cigarette smell seems to be answer, but not right. Mine, no. Out, it is also not the right answer. Saw, not the right answer. Living room on, no. Living room was full of cigarette smell. So you can use the answer here. Full. Full is a adjective here that describes something about the living room. So living room was full of cigarette smell and stale perfume. As I looked around, I dash. I what dash? Dash wet patches of split beer. So I is a subject here. There must be definitely a verb. I saw. You can use the answer here. Not used. Mine you can't use there. So I saw wet patches of split beer on my best Persian carpet. My antique vases were totally smashed. They had even dashed my antique oak tables as ashtrays. So they had is a past perfect tense here. So if there is a past perfect tense, the verb form you used is V3 form of the verb. So find out in the answer. The answer ನಲ್ಲಿ V3 form of the verb ಅನ್ನು ನಾವೀಗ ಹುಡುಕೋಣ. Used. Used is V3 form of the verb. Mine not. Out no. Saw no. On, so these are not. Take, it is the V1 form. So V3 form of the verb here is used. So you can may put the answer here, used. They had even used my antique oak tables as ashtrays. These guests of Dash had done their best to destroy my expensively decorated living room. These guests, whose guests? Hmm? So these guests of author. So you can use answer here. Mine had done their best to destroy my extensively decorated living room. What a night this has turned dash to be. So what you can use here? Turned. Turn. So here it may be a phrasal verb. Turn out. So you can use what a night this has turned out to be. I shook my head. The mess would dash 6 hours to clear. So how many hours it takes? That is the answer here. The mess would. Would is a helping verb. You can use here main verb take. The mess would take 6 hours to clear. Getting dash of the smell would require dash. Getting hot, get rid. Here it is also a phrasal verb. So getting rid of the smell would require days. My housekeeper would had resigned dash the spot if she saw the mess. So his housekeeper. So what the spot? Here you can use the preposition on the spot. So I had to do dash fast. I had to do dash fast. I could not afford to lose her. So I had to do something fast. He can he must do something fast to recover. So the tenth answer. I could not afford to lose her. Dash she is the best cook. See, as she is the best cook. You can put the answer here. As she is the best cook, I dash ever had. What is the remaining answer here is have only. So you can fill the answer with the answer have. 11th blank is have. So is the best cook I have ever had. So let's quickly go through the answer. It was the midnight and the last guest left. I sighed heavily in as around the living room was full of cigarette smell and stale perfume. As I looked around, I saw wet patches of split beer on my West Persian carpet. My antique vases were totally smashed. They had even used my antique oak tables as ashtrays. These guests of mine had done their best to destroy my expensively decorated living room. What a night this had turned out to be. I shook my head. The mess would take hours to clear. Getting rid of the smell would require days. My housekeeper would have resigned on the spot if she saw the mess. I had to do something fast. I could not afford to lose her as she is the best cook I ever had. Then come back to the second exercise. So let's go to just go through this passage to find out the context. You must have heard of many ghost stories, but you have heard of Dash from Japan. The story dash like this: one moonlight night, a man was walking home along the river. Dash he saw a woman dash on the bridge. He could not see her dash because she was sitting with her back dash him. However, he could see that she was she was crying dash hysterically, that her whole body was shaking. The man felt dash for her, and he went dash to comfort her. She suddenly dash around. So, what is the context here? The author is telling about a ghost story and his experience in this context. Now let's go through some grammar rules as we have already discussed to find out the answer from the bracket to fill this passage. You must have heard of ghost stories, but you have heard of this dash from Japan. So you can put here directly this one from Japan. So answer here is one from Japan. The story dash like this. So the story is a subject here. You can use definitely verb. What will be the verb here? The story dash. That the story should run. So that's why you use the answer goes. ಇಲ್ಲಿ the story ನಂತರ ನೀವು goes answer ನ ನೀವು use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. Goes ಇಲ್ಲಿ verb ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Like this. One moonlight, a man was walking home along the river. So what will be the answer? Home along the river, dash he saw a woman dash on the bridge. Walking home along the river, the answer here is third one, when he saw a woman. So when is an adverb here. So when he saw a woman dash on the bridge, the fourth answer here is she is doing something. What she is doing? She is crying here on the bridge. So he saw a woman crying on the bridge. He could not see her dash because she was sitting with her back. When the people is sitting with back, what we can't see, definitely the answer is face. So we can put here answer face. So he could not see her face because she was sitting with her back. Dash him. So it is answer dash him. So put the preposition here, the direction he's telling. That's a back to him. However, he could see that she was crying dash hysterically that her whole body was shaking. So how she is crying? ಹೇಗೆ ಅವಳು ಅಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ. So she's crying so hysterically that her whole body was shaking. The man felt dash for her. What he felt, what we feel, something that happened when the somebody is in distress. We feel sorry, no? So that's why the man felt sorry for her. When he went dash to comfort her. When he went, so went up or went forward. Went up is a phrasal verb. That's why you can fill this ninth blank with up. He went up to comfort her. She suddenly dashed around. What is the remaining one? She suddenly turned around. So with this discussion, let's go through the answer. You must have heard of many ghost stories, but have you heard this one from Japan? The story goes like this. One moonlit night, a man was walking home along the river when he saw a woman crying on the bridge. He could not see her face because she was sitting with her back to him. However, he could see that she was crying so hysterically that her whole body was shaking. The man felt sorry for her when he went up bar forward to comfort her. She suddenly turned around. To his horror, the man I saw that he had no eyes, no nose, and no mouth on her face. So turned around there you can keep. So I have used something more here. So that's why turned around there you should stop. So with this discussion, I will end this session